This is Allan Wall's photography. It is September the 2nd. The August macro photography competition is over and the images have been judged. To hear who won, stay tuned. Hello everybody, welcome to Allan Wall's photography. This is Allan and joining me today is Amy Ferman. Greetings, Amy.
Hi.
So glad to have you here to help me with the judging. We are judging the August competition and the theme was My Tiny Universe. And I left that somewhat open to misinterpretation, which was picked up on by several people who completely misinterpreted it. And you're going to see as we go through the pictures that nailed the concept of My Tiny Universe are the ones that you're going to see over and over again. And pictures that didn't really give that depiction of your world, they're the ones that didn't make it quite so far. Amy and I got together yesterday and we went through the whole batch of photographs, the whole lot, start to finish, and we graded them, and then we compared our notes and agreed on an order. And that's what we're going to present today. What did you think of the overall response, Amy? You didn't get to compete in this one, so would you like to?
Well, I would have had to go out and buy a bunch of little figures to put in. I don't have those on hand, so no. But I thought there was a lot of really good entries this month, just like there always is.
Yeah, we're so lucky to have so many creative and clever people. This was the most challenging concept for a competition that we've done yet, as far as I'm concerned. It just left so many options to go down. And a lot of people went down just about all of them. So it's going to be fun to show these pictures. I have got the pictures somewhere separate. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably, you know what? I'll drop the pictures in afterwards, after we've recorded this, because I've got, both Amy and I have the pictures in front of us, so we know what order we're talking about them. And I'll just put them up for you to see in all their glory as we talk about them. As always, we have a handful of honorable mentions that were good enough to be recognized, didn't quite make it to the top 10. And then we have 10 finalists with no ties this month, just 1/10 through first. So in no particular order, why don't you get us going, Amy? Who is the first honorable mention?
Okay, our first honorable mention is for Diane Vatcher. EPA responds to the golden egg incident.
Clever title.
Yes, it was clever. And she obviously did a lot of work putting that scene together and taking the picture and everything.
There were a couple of issues with it that I think are worth mentioning. The only rule we had, well, we had two rules, I think. It had to be 1:4 on scale or smaller, and it could not be composited. And obviously, several of you focus stacked your images, which is fine. We don't consider that compositing. Compositing is putting something that wasn't in the picture in the picture. Or I guess taking something out would also count as compositing. But it looked awfully like there had been something manipulated about this picture. I don't know if it was just a cosmetic thing, but looked like there's some clone stamping going on down in one corner of it. That even if it wasn't an issue of compositing, it was an issue of not looking super good down in that corner. And I think we had to take off a few points for that. Otherwise, clever, real good concept. And it's nailed the whole idea of My Tiny Universe. It was a nice depiction of a real world event type thing, though I'm not sure what a golden egg incident is. Are you?
No.
Don't believe I've run into one of those before.
No, we didn't get that reference, but I'm sure.
Yeah, there were a few references in this one that went over my head, but that's not too unusual. Okay, the next honorable mention was from Pierre Seurat, A Little Too Close. This was clever. I kind of like this. Still don't really understand it, but it was definitely in the theme, and it was a well taken picture, all in focus. What did you get out of this one, Amy?
Um, yeah, I think it was we both kind of didn't get it a little bit. So
Well, there's a moth in there, isn't there?
yeah, there is a moth. So I mean, I guess what I got from it is like these cameras are too close to it to be in focus on the moth.
Yeah, taking it literally. Yeah, that's what I did too. But it was, it was a story. You could make of it what you would, and it was using miniature cameras, and yeah. So it was good. It was not quite up to your bubbles photograph there, Pierre, but which is just hanging on one of my walls somewhere around here. It's been moved.
Hard to beat that one. So
it would be very hard to beat that one. That is a superb photograph. So we came close with one just a couple of months ago. Anyway, good stuff. What's next?
Well, the next one was the picture of the spider called Peekaboo by Frank Pryor.
Nice picture.
Yep, and I think we included it because it is a really nice picture, and the spider is like covering up its eyes,
which is a bizarre thing that I've never seen before. So yeah, it's not actually clicking with the theme, which I think is why we included a couple of honorable mentions for pictures that we liked, even though they wouldn't pass muster for the theme. Never seen one cover their eyes like that before.
That must have been just clicking its eyes at the time when he was taking pictures of it.
Yeah, probably so. Probably so. It looks like a single focus shot, an interesting background. Yeah. Pretty nice picture and worth an honorable mention.
Yes.
The next one, and is it the last one? No, there's a couple more, was from George Simpkins. Did you hear something? All right, this is a good example of a perfectly clever and well thought out scene, a depiction of the universe that I have absolutely no clue what he's getting at whatsoever. That I don't know what the beetles are doing on the log, or why that giant spider is harassing them, or anything about it. But I love it. It looks like something out of a weird fairy tale. Not quite sure why the beetles are having what are they doing? Having lunch there at the log? It's a little hard for me to understand. What did you get out of it, Amy? You liked it too, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we both liked it. We both probably laughed when we saw it. And I mean, to me, it's like you're in the woods and those three beetles are sitting on a log, maybe having lunch or whatever. And then they hear the spider coming out of that rock. And one of them turns to the other, did you hear something? So to me, it would have been a little more convincing if all the beetles were facing the camera. But I can see why he'd want to show that, blue color on the one.
Yeah,
but looking right at the thing, so it couldn't just hear it. It would be seeing it also.
Yeah, well, they probably don't have very good eyesight. I don't know. I mean, you can probably stretch it as far as you want. I don't know what that spider thing is. It appears to be made of concrete. Its legs.
Like a monster coming after them that's going to eat them.
Yeah, but where did it come from? Did he make it?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe he made that.
Well, he'll be having a picnic with me on Saturday, so I'll ask him. That's what I'll do. That never occurred to me.
Too, so we both can ask him.
Yeah, we can both ask him and get the answer. Okay, well, good honorable mention, definitely. Yep. After that, what do we have?
We've got a picture by Steve Young. Hey, stop pushing me. It's a pair of slime molds. And very good.
Yeah.
Like the colors.
Yep, love the picture. Love the picture. I guess for me, the title puts it in the category but not much else.
Right.
If the title had said anything else, I wouldn't have thought of anthropomorphizing these fruiting bodies. But once you do, I think it's legitimate. If it's two teenagers roughhousing there, you can buy into that.
Yeah.
Not convincing enough that I'd have got it on my own, though. So nice picture, lovely fruiting bodies, nice slime mold shot. There was didn't he have two slime molds? He did, didn't he? The other one was nice too.
Both nice, but I think we like this one a little bit better.
What was the other one though? Can't remember. Oh, no, it was. The trio. Yeah, that's right. That was it, wasn't it? I think so. Anyway, it didn't get an honorable mention. This one did. There you go. And next up then is Moshe Martin.
Yeah.
Now, what was your thought on this, Amy?
Well, it's a little bit hard to tell how big that object is, but I did like the way the lighting, and I like the color of the background with the color of the sphere with the dolphins on it, or maybe that's a killer whale. But anyway.
Yeah. I wasn't sure either, but I like the effect.
Yeah.
I did feel it was a bit crowded, height wise, right. But yeah, other than
square crop, you thought would be better.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this could be interpreted in several ways. I guess there's lots of people who put some relevance and importance in dolphins and universes. I can't remember who started all that. Probably the Hitchhiker's Guide or something had dolphins in the universe. Didn't he write a book about that? He might have done. But that's neither here nor there. I'm sure that Mr. Martin knows exactly what he's talking about. But we liked it, and we liked the picture, and it was we could recognize that it was on theme for the artist. So good honorable mention. Well done, sir. And are we up to our numbered?
No,
we're not. No, we got a very cool picture here.
Yep.
What did you think? Who is this?
Oh, this is Antonio
Pariah.
Pariah. Okay, Little Symphony, he called it. And we just couldn't get how this is related to music anyway, unless maybe that's supposed to be a trombone they're sitting on, or a trumpet or something.
Yeah. There's something musical about it, like it could be the keys on a flute horn.
It could be the 3 buttons on the top of a horn that you push down. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know, the paper clip, the shape of the bend, and everything. It something made me think of brass, or maybe it was the color.
That's the brass section there.
Either way, I love the picture.
Yeah, we like the colors and
nice. Very cool abstract, and the reflections and everything. I even like the gradient, the way the light is dropping off. I think if we had understood more clearly what the symphony was, this would have probably got higher. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I was trying to make the paperclip look like a treble clef, but it doesn't quite make it.
Not quite. No. But Antonio's not going to be at the picnic, so we'll never know what this meant.
We'll never know unless he tells us.
There you go. Well, nice one, Antonio. Appreciate your entry. Okay, so now we are up to the numbered positions. And at number 10, Ingolf Kuntz has Macro Rocks 2. Now, that is definitely a plot, and I meant to bring the book downstairs with me for this recording, Amy, and I forgot. Macro Rocks 1 is a book that Ingolf made. It's a macro book, and it's fantastic. And it's especially fantastic because it's got a picture of me in the back of it for some reason. I don't know how that got in there, unless you thought maybe I was an insect. It might be up there on my bookshelf. I'll look in a minute. But anyway, this was a play on that. And I'm not quite sure I understand it, the relevance of the bugs or the elephant. I know that the man loves rock and roll, so again, I think we were willing to give him the benefit of the doubt on what part of the universe he was talking about. But it was a macro picture, and yeah.
Yeah, those bugs are like at a rock concert.
Yeah, I guess so.
They're climbing up on stage.
Yeah, it's this is probably the first competition that I've been willing to admit the fact that I just don't understand what some of these are getting at, but still I'm perfectly willing to accept that they're getting at something. They get a bit clearer as we go along. What's next, Amy?
The next one is from Nick Parker, PC Construction, the early years.
I like this one.
Yep, we liked it. We thought it was maybe a little bit dark, though.
Yeah, that lost a couple of points, I think.
And I have background in this area, so I realized that these are surface mount technology and not through hole. So only the early years from the early 1990s and forward.
Yeah, I would have thought wire wrapping would have been really early years. But
well, that was when I first started in the 80s. I actually worked in the wire wrap department.
Did you really? Oh my goodness! I can't imagine how accurate you'd have to be with that to pull that off.
We had they wire wrap the back panels, but then you had to put the connectors on the front, and those were done by hand. But anyway, that's
well. The one thing that is incredibly realistic to me about this whole thing is that the guy in the back is using a sledgehammer to make a PC, which I have always thought is what they do. It's how they get the surface mount things on, is they hammer them on with a sledgehammer.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Anyway, this is a spot on My Tiny Universe depiction of something small, reflecting the real world. So we liked it, and well done. Number 9, Nick Parker. Good job. Number 8, Klaus, A Tiny World at My Fingertips. This was very close to being an honorable mention and not numbered. It made it through to the numbered entries because the picture is so good. It is a beautifully balanced, clever picture of a tiny snail. There's no doubt this was expertly shot, and it does tell an interesting story. It doesn't exactly fit with my concept of the competition's theme again, but yeah, I think this is a kind of a rule-bending episode. I just think that was such a good picture. It deserved getting through. Would you characterize it that way, Amy, or?
Yes, and also the difficulty, because the snail's alive, so they're constantly moving, and he's holding it on his finger. I don't know if the camera's in a tripod, but he could be holding the camera with his other hand, and to get the whole,
I bet he is,
critical parts of the snail in focus.
Yeah,
a lot of pictures to get this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And I think the title helped as well to kind of put us in this this mindset. It was a lovely picture, and that's I guess that always is an influence when you're judging competitions. It's hard to not reward a lovely picture. But I think from now on things get really pretty much adherent to the theme. What's next, Amy?
Roy Walker's entry, Macro World Uprising.
I love this.
Yep, we both really like this one.
How could you not like a picture with 15 weevils in it?
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
This must have cost him $100 to make this. Well, more than that for some of those weevils. Some of those look like they cost $100.
Yeah.
I thought this was really clever. And boy, talk about telling a story. He's got all the elements in here. Do you think that was he made that set, or is that from his train set or something? I don't know.
No, either. I mean, it looks like he did.
Roy, do you really have that many weevils, or did you borrow these from somebody?
Yeah, they're
Amy
all.
thought they might be plastic weevils, but I think they're real.
Well, at first I did, but that's because I think um not every part of them are in focus, I think. Wasn't that the issue?
Well, there were a couple of areas that were a bit soft. Was this the one that had a bit of
Little focus banding, maybe.
focus banding? I don't think it was a big issue if there was. If these are plastic weevils, I need to know where you got them from, because I want to get a packet of these. These are lovely. It was a good picture. We both got a laugh out of it, and
Well, he definitely hit the category, and his picture tells a story. So,
and I think there's something a hidden joke in here with this beetle that somehow snuck in with the weevils, with the curculonidae. I don't understand why he's there, but that's something that Roy may or may not tell us in the future. Good one, Roy. This was spot on and hit all the buttons. Well done. Good shot. All righty. What's next?
Julie Bott's entry. All you gotta do.
I love that title. That is so clever. Well,
Yeah, she's kind of like making fun of you a little bit there, huh?
a little bit. But what do you see? What do you see in the picture?
Well, it looks like they're having some sort of technical difficulties there with their microscope objective, trying to take a picture of this tiny little thing on the slide there.
That looks like a leg to me.
A leg.
I think that's what Julie's getting at. Is
Yeah.
all you got to do is what I say before I glue them back on.
Yep.
And I think that's what she's getting at. You've got a team of people there, or it might be the microscope is broken.
Well, it doesn't look like it's quite lined up with the subject, so maybe they're trying to, figure out how to solve that problem there. And
Do you think they're real objectives? I think she made this whole set out of stuff that she had. I think it's brilliant.
yeah, I don't know, because you can see in the background as if it's a microscope that has, like three of them, and you turn that thing and you
Yep.
can see the background.
Yeah, but it might be a real microscope. But I've never seen an objective that looks like that. What's that pointy thing on the end of it? Never seen that.
I don't know. I guess that's another explanation we need to find out.
Julie's not going to be here because she just got back from the North Pole or something, so she can't come to the picnic. We'll have to wait to find out. But I loved this picture. I thought it was funny, and it was like an inside joke. Don't get it, but I know that the explanation will be hysterical. We'll talk to her about it in the next Presume, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Great. All right. Number 5. This is a picture that I think resonated with both of us. It's spot on. It's clever. It doesn't involve little people figures, but it absolutely, the title, the model car, which looks like an old broken down VW, actually looks a lot like my first VW, only in better shape.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and sitting on the Mercedes, I loved it. I thought it was clever, funny, sophisticated, bit of humor, and a lovely, lovely photograph. I love the way the gradient works off the reflections off the boot there. That's nice. Just a nice picture, nice concept, well executed, well thought out.
Yep.
Spot on.
Yep.
Congratulations. That was at number 5. You get, that's the wooden medallion, I think you get at number 5.
Yeah,
Or
like
is
a
it-
nickel that you good for one drink or something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A wooden nickel. All right. Number 4. I'm going to jump in here because I've got a thing I've got to say. This picture, when you see it, is going to look a bit strange. I'm talking both to Hans Peter and to everybody else. I was very concerned about not editing this picture before putting it on YouTube, because I think I might have got in trouble. There are some pretty strict community guidelines that I was uncomfortable thinking that I was going to cross. But I absolutely don't have any photo competition guidelines that would have forbidden what Hans Peter did. So I want to explain to people that what you're getting ready to see is a photograph that has been clumsily edited by me, not by the photographer. And Amy and I judged this photograph in its unaltered state. And that's how it got 4th place. But when it goes up on YouTube, it is going to be appropriately altered. You want to see what it is I'm talking about so that makes sense? I bet you do. It's a really, really clever picture. What did you think about it, Amy?
Yep, I thought it was very clever, and we liked the use of the geode that the figures are into that simulate the foam, maybe foam by the seaside or something, or
Yeah. Or sand, I guess.
sand. Yep, and
But it's,
technically perfect.
yep.
No, technically, and hit the theme also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it did everything that we asked of it. It was entertaining, it was cute, and it was spot on the theme, and it was beautifully shot and well lit.
Yep.
I'm sorry about me having to do what I did. Now, by the way, the photograph on my website, where you can view this picture if you would like, does not have big black bands on it. And I was really reluctant to censor it, but my only other option was to disqualify it, and I just wasn't going to do that. So I think we made the right decision. And Hans Peter, it's a great photograph. Congratulations. Artistically, it was well done. And I hope we've done enough to keep me out of trouble with YouTube. We'll find out soon enough. Okay, moving on to the precious medals. Beginning with, is bronze precious? I don't know.
Kinda. I guess it must be.
Here's another picnic goer who's making it to the finals. What do you think of this one?
Well, we should say it's from Jeff Malone, Mount Olympus, the final assault.
It is fantastic.
This one, and knew it had to be right up there near the top. So,
yeah. I mean, you couldn't get a photograph that was more in sync with what we were asking for, and that had the references built into both mountaineering and to photography on his OM1.
Yep.
I just love it. It was clever, well done, and those figures even look like they're really climbing that thing. So it's pretty clever, I thought. Yeah, it was definitely going to be in the top 3. But that must mean there were a couple of really good pictures in the 2nd and 1st place. I wonder what made it up there. Well done, Jeff. That was very nice. I'll congratulate you in person on Friday. Number 2. I'll do number 2. You can do number 1. How does that sound? Number 2, my friend Robert Storost with Busted. This was, I think it was the first picture in the sequence that we looked at that nailed the theme. So that was always nice to see. But this is typical Robert Storost. It is absolutely painstakingly executed to hit every detail as smoothly as possible. He tells a really compelling story here. Again, I don't know what it is. Did they just dump all these peppers out of the van, or is one of them's drinking a bottle of cerveza while they're being, I guess, talked to by the constabulary? There's a boy up on the pepper. Who knows what's going on in this? Robert probably knows. I just loved it because I couldn't stop looking at it. It's clever, funny, colorful, perfectly shot, totally in focus and well lit. The light is even consistent through the whole thing. You can tell that he thought about where would the shadows fall when I light this, so that he doesn't obscure any of the important details, puts the sun in just the right place. He nailed it. Great silver medalist.
Yep, I agree. And I knew we would see a good one by Robert, because he always has something along these lines. I mean, it's like his forte.
Yeah, it is. It is his.
Have one in the top spot somewhere.
Yep. I'm not the least bit surprised. And this is, like you say, it is just so typical of Robert's skill to hit this one out of the park. Who, though, could possibly have pipped him at the post?
Well, Jeff Malone with Pictures at an Exhibition.
I'm having deja vu all over again.
Yeah, when we saw this, we just knew this was the number one picture. There was like no doubt about it.
Nope, none whatsoever. It's technically, what did you think of it as a technical photograph, Amy?
I thought it was technically perfect. I mean, I don't mind the fact that there's that black area below where the reflections are. I think that kind of makes it seem like it's kind of floating in space also, which I like. So
actually, the way I've got the photograph on my screen, I can't even see that cutoff of the shadows. So maybe it was just the way I was looking at it yesterday. But it's immaterial. It's gorgeous. It looks like pictures at an exhibition, which is clever. If you're not familiar with it, the reference he's making is to a piece of music by Mussorgsky, which was also an album by Emerson, Lake and Palmer from when I was a kid. And Pictures at an Exhibition was the entire album theme. And that's what Jeff thought of when he saw this memory card. Is this an old-fashioned memory card? I don't think they have chips that big, do they?
Well,
I don't know.
It's something on something from Samsung, says on there.
Yeah, it looks a bit like a RAM board or something, but definitely it nailed it. It looked, and having the character sitting on the guy's shoulders to clean off one of the paintings, I love it. It's got humor in it. It's artistic. It's colorful. It's a tiny bit mysterious, and it's got a reference to Emerson, Lake and Palmer, which
right.
Other than weevils, that's a pretty sure way to get to my attention. Well, I tell you, that was a relatively simple judging job for us, Amy, this month. Sometimes they can be monsters, but this one I think was pretty straightforward. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You made it a lot more fun than doing this alone would ever have been. So thank you for your time and your expertise. And we'll get you back to taking pictures this month. Before we started, we were trying to recall what the theme was for this month. I know it's flowers because it's September, and Angie's going to be my guest judge this month, but I can't remember what she asked me to do it on. So just bear with us, and I'll announce it probably after the live stream tomorrow. We're at the live stream tomorrow, which is Tuesday. If you're watching this, It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant because it's all past and I've already put it on the website. So there you go. Well, thank you everybody for watching another great competition. Things are going to heat up towards the end of the year. There's going to be a wild card like we did last year, which is a great opportunity for you to do whatever the heck you want. And I'm also going to waive the 2-picture rule for the wild card in December. Okay, we'll say that again. This month is flowers, but don't take pictures of flowers till I tell you what the sub-theme is that Angie's going to give us. Anything else I need to remind people of, Amy, or are we good?
I don't think so, but this has been fun and enjoyable. So thank you for inviting me, and hopefully I can do it again sometime.
Most definitely. And thank you for doing this on short notice. I had a note to call you at the beginning of the month. That's how far behind I am. And I called you the day the competition ended. So typical. All right. If you're coming to the picnic with Amy and I this weekend, we look forward to seeing you. And everybody else, I'll see you at the live stream. One of them. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.